The information presented in this NCHE project is gathered from trusted sources, personal stories, and individuals' recollections. We have made every effort to ensure its accuracy. However, due to the nature of the content and the methods of obtaining it, some details may not be entirely precise or exact. We appreciate your understanding and encourage you to consider this context as you watch our presentations. Enjoy.
The Monhegan School is a treasured landmark and has been an educational springboard for generations of Islanders. Our integrated classroom offers students pre-kindergarten through 8th grade an amazing opportunity to learn in a supportive multi-age setting and is enhanced by a tight-knit community of educators, artists, artisans, writers, poets, photographers, lobstermen, woodworkers, gardeners, business owners, and more. Monhegan provides a rich, hands-on learning environment for the arts and sciences and plenty of active outdoor time to supplement our classroom studies. Our remote location and beautiful seascape allows us to take a holistic approach to our teaching. Our classroom learning extends beyond our one room. Our students enjoy 9 miles of hiking trails, a skating pond, lush forests, rocky shorelines, beaches, a shipwreck, historic homes, tidal pools, community gardens, lobstering, a museum, a library, and more, all explored on foot.
What is your name?
Jessica Stevens. I am the school board chairman. Yes, the school has always been the school since 18 something, and I did not look up the date for today, but it was late 1800s, and before that, I think there were some other places where the schoolhouse was located. But since then, it's been here on this same piece of property at one schoolhouse, 1 Monhegan Avenue.
When you first got here, was the school any different? Was it run any different? Was the building any different?
The building more or less was the same as it is now in 2000. The L was built in the 80s through a community development block grant, which did a bunch, it funded a lot of different projects on the island, including the water system and something to do with the breakwater repair and maybe the wharf also. And so when they had that opportunity, they put the addition on the schoolhouse that we call the L, that includes the bathroom and the sort of the back room and that extra attic. And I think that was a major development. Other than that, we've just done improvements to the building, like fixing the main floor in the main room and putting a new roof on and smaller repairs. Regarding the school, we've had the student population over time. I've seen it all the way from 1 student to 11 students since 2000, and I'm hopeful that we'll continue to have lots of students in the future. So sometimes we have to do some work on that, so I think that's an important thing we have in our future to think about. And as far as buildings, I hope that this building remains the schoolhouse because of its location and its history. And last year, I think there was a gathering of alumni who had attended this school over the years, and listening to their stories, it was such an amazing thing to have them gathered in this building telling their stories and connecting different people from different years and over the history of Monhegan together. So I hope we keep being able to do that. So we've had, I haven't counted lately, but we probably have had a teacher come to our school every 5 or 6 years, mostly over my time here. Sometimes the laws required teachers to stay for a shorter amount of time before the 2000s, but that seems to work really well because the students and the teachers get to really dig in and get to know each other and do a lot of great work when they stay for a long time. And sometimes teachers come for 2 or 3 years. I think one year occasionally if it's not really what everyone wants to do. Sometimes it doesn't work out for a particular teacher. They find it's not the kind of job that they want to do. So that's okay too.
What is your name?
My name is Chris Rollins.
What years did you attend school here?
From 1973 to 1981, on and off.
How many students were in the school?
It varied year to year, but it averaged around maybe 8 kids to, I think, 12 kids or so.
How has the school changed over the years?
Not a whole lot. I think, maybe the heating systems have changed a little, and the toilet's a little different. When I was a kid, it was a toilet that incinerated the stuff, so I was kind of scared of the toilet. But everything looks pretty much similar. Yeah.
What were your least and favorite things about going to school here?
I think my favorite thing was just being able to walk home every day at lunch and come back. It's gives you a sense of, freedom, I guess, really, from school during the day. What I didn't like was the toilet. It scared me. I didn't want to go to the bathroom here.
How many teachers did you have when you attended school here?
1 to 2 each year, but it changed pretty much every 2 years. We got a new teacher. They didn't want to allow teachers to be able to stay longer than they wanted them to, some sort of a law or something. But every 2 years we got new teachers.
Did you have any teacher assistants?
I believe so. There were more married couples when I was in school here.
How did you get to school?
We walked every day with me and my 2 brothers, and sometimes we'd ice skate across the meadow or ice skate up the road even.
Do you think that keeping the school open on Monhegan is important? Why or why not?
Oh, it's very important. Absolutely. Kids are needed in a community, so without any kids, you're doomed to fail as a community. So yeah, it's pretty important. Well, just thanks to be part of this little documentation, and yeah, and I love you.
What is your name?
My name is Mia Boynton.
Did you attend school here?
I did. I attended school from 1994 to 2003.
How has the school changed over the years?
Big thing I think has changed in the school is that when I was in school here, we didn't really communicate with other islands that much. And we also didn't have all the technology that you guys have.
How is the building different from now?
A lot of ways the building was the same. However, we did have to bank the building with hay in the winter. My parents and the other parents would come and they put hay around the whole perimeter of the building to keep it warm.
How many students were in your grade?
There was only 1 other student in my grade.
How many students were in the school?
It varied depending on the year, but for a long time there was 3 of us, including myself, and then there was 5 of us for a little bit of time.
How many teachers did you have when you attended school here?
When I was in school here, there was a rule that the teacher had to change every 2 years, so I had a new teacher every 2 years. So I had 4 teachers, and I had 2 teacher assistants within that time. My favorite thing about going to school here is I liked that we got to do a lot of cool projects, and we got to do a lot of things that involved nature and being outdoors and interacting with the community. We did a science experiment in the meadow. Every day we would go and we would collect water samples in the meadow. We'd look at them under a microscope and stuff, and I thought that was really cool.
If you attended middle school here, how was your transition into inshore high school?
Academically, I was pretty well prepared. It was just, I think, socially and just living off the island was difficult.
How did you get to school here?
I rode my bike.
Do you think that keeping the school open on Monhegan is important? Why or why not?
Yes, I do think keeping the school open on Monhegan is very important. I think it's important that there are kids on Monhegan and there's a place for them to go to school. And if families want to move to Monhegan and they have kids, that they know there's a place for their kids to go to school. I think it's very important for sustaining the community.
The Monhegan School. Children have attended school in Monhegan since the 1830s, and possibly even earlier. After the incorporation of the Monhegan Plantation in 1839, it was determined that a new school should be built. This schoolhouse, built in 1847, still stands today, and until the church was built in the 1880s, it also served as a place for religious meetings. The school's population has fluctuated over the years, with as many as 40 students in the 1840s and as little as 1 student in the 1960s. The population was highly dependent on the children of the lighthouse and fog keepers, and declined significantly when the light and fog signal were automated. Women had made up the majority of Monhegan Island school teachers and have typically taught for about 1 year. The longest-standing island teacher, however, is Llewellyn Oliver, who held the position from 1949 to 1964. Oliver had family ties on Monhegan dating back to William Stanley, one of the longest-serving lighthouse keepers on Monhegan. Oliver can be seen in the photograph to the right showing students standing in front of a newly replaced flagpole. World War II. Warriors. Impact on school. The successful conduct of your school is one of your direct contributions to national defense. We wish that our young people may grow into citizens who love America and who are willing to do their part in a thoughtful study of her problems, in sharing the cost of government, and, if necessary, making any or every sacrifice to defend this land against foreign aggression. Our teachers are earnestly and happily engaged in this vital task. Harold B. Clifford, Superintendent of Schools, 1941. School opened in September with 4 pupils under the able direction of Mrs. Eunice Gould. It seemed best and most economical to hold the school where the teacher resided, and this has been done with apparent success. In a way, it seemed a pity for the very fine school building to be unoccupied, but the fuel problem is very real. With the scarcity of all fuels, it seemed the economical and practical, as well as loyal, to use the one house as teachers' residence and schoolroom. Moreover, with the unusual difficulty in obtaining teachers, a small place must offer all possible inducements if it is to have a teacher. Many schools in all parts of the country have been closed. Superintendent of Schools, 1944.